What is happening? My house is surrounded by farmland on like every side of it, and our neighbors are like farming today. It's hay season. It means everyone's cutting the grass and creating hay bales, and it's all flying around in the air. And I have really bad allergies, so I'm like, suffocating over here. But it's also really loud, and it makes it very difficult to film something. So if you hear that, I'm really sorry. It's loud. Hi, I'm Pauline, and today I'm going to be doing the character swap tag. This tag was created by Joe James, and I will leave the original video in the description, and I was tagged for this by Lucy Angeles. So this tag is kind of interesting. Basically, the gist of this tag is that you have a few different categories, like villains, main characters, love interests, and you have to pick 2 different books and swap the characters in the story, and then talk about how you think the stories would be different. So this looks really fun. I'm excited. So yeah, let's get into this. The first category is villains or bad guys. And the 2 characters I chose for this are Queen Lavanna from Cinder and Janine from the Divergent series. Yeah. I don't know what the worlds would be like if I switched them. I feel like Lavanna is more about world domination, and she would totally just be exasperated with the Divergent world and probably just like take them all out. Honestly, because she's scary. She's scary. I can't even handle. Okay. And Janine from Divergent in the Cinder series, I feel like she would just die because she has no power over them, because she's not like, this crazy powerful queen lady from the moon. She's just Janine who reads a lot. So I feel like she would just sort of die. So they would be fine. They'd be like, yeah, totally. But then I feel like the people in Divergent, I don't even think Triss could deal with Queen Lavanna. I think they would all die. So good outcome for Cinder, bad outcome for Triss. Those are my thoughts. The next category is love interests, and I wanted to make this really interesting, so I chose 2 completely different books. And yes. So I am swapping Warner from Unravel Me and Cricket from Little and the Boy Next Door. And honestly, I don't feel like they would get along with the other people in the books. Like Warner and Lola, no. I feel like Lola wouldn't put up with Warner's shenanigans. She'd be like, shut up, Warner, go away, you're irritating. And he would be like mad, and then nothing would happen. They would just not click at all. And I feel like Juliet would kill Cricket, honestly. I feel like Cricket would be like, hey, and Juliet would just be like, you're irritating, and then accidentally kill him because she touched him, I don't know. They wouldn't get along. And Cricket would be freaked out in this like creepy world. I think he would like die of fear. And Warner would be bored. He'd be confused to be like, what can I kill? No one, because then I'll go to jail. So, yeah. Not very good outcomes. The books would kind of suck if they switched love interests. Next is main characters, and the 2 characters I chose for this are Katniss from the Hunger Games and Meadow from the Murder Complex. And honestly, nothing would change. If you swapped these 2 characters, nothing would change. Meadow would still win the Hunger Games, like the only other YA character other than Katniss who I actually truly believe could win the Hunger Games. Like, seriously, she's more badass than Katniss. I'm not even kidding. And Katniss would be fine in the Murder Complex world. She'd just be like taking people down right and left. So nothing would change. Both of these books would still be epic, and the problems would be solved. Everything would still be accomplished the way it was supposed to. So, yeah. Good choice. The next category is mentors. And I don't feel like I did very good in this one. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to mentors in stories. Like, I don't really care about them or their role, which kind of sounds bad. So I don't really remember a whole lot of them. But the 2 that I can think of are Hodge from City of Bones and Mo from Inkheart. And if they traded stories, a little bit of a spoiler for City of Bones, so if you haven't read this, which I don't know why you haven't, but if you haven't read it, it's a spoiler. Anyways, Hodge would totally betray Meggie and everyone, and they would all die, probably. That would suck. And Mo would just sort of be hanging out, doing whatever he does. I don't know what he does. Not much would happen, I suppose. And the last category is sidekicks, and I chose Isabel Lightwood from City of Bones because I think she's kind of a sidekick. She's like a supporting character who's cool, so why not? And Chubbs from The Darkest Minds, because I like Chubbs. And if they swapped places, I feel like Isabel would totally help Ruby succeed. She'd be taking people out left and right, and honestly, I don't think that they would have any problems getting away from whoever they're getting away from and dealing with everything. Like, they would be so much more successful as like a group if Isabel was there. So, because honestly, I don't feel like Chubbs adds anything other than humor to the book, which is good, but Isabel could add that. And if Chubbs were part of City of Bones, I feel like he'd be freaking out. I mean, obviously, The Darkest Minds is a weird story too, but this is like paranormal, and he would probably be freaking out and wouldn't be much help, and honestly, he might die. So yeah, that's probably what would happen. Yeah. So yeah, that was the character swap tag, and that was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. That was kind of entertaining. And I'm going to tag 2 people. I'm going to tag Elena from Got Books, and I'm going to tag Ryan O'Neill because I want to see you guys do this because it's very fun. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Why do I live in the middle of a hayfield?